Hello everyone, I'm Giuseppe from Simulation Daily, and today we're in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 doing our first official flight on the 737-800 by PMDG. We're flying Skymark, which is a low-cost airline in Japan, and we are flying from Tokyo Haneda to Kobe Airport. And this flight is going to have a little bit of a twist, but I'm going to tell you later about that. First of all, let's get into our flight deck and see how this baby behaves. So, I've done a little bit of refamiliarization with this aircraft because I have not flown it for over a year. Since the release of Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, I left behind 2020, and there was no 737-800 on the 2020. There was on 2024. There was the Max by Asus, but I wasn't very satisfied with it, so I basically didn't touch it, and I dedicated myself to Airbus for this whole year. So I'm very, very rusty, and if I do something really stupid, please forgive me. We'll discover this aircraft together, okay? So, let's get this thing started, okay? Let's go into our electronic flight bag and request data from SimBrief. I have already loaded my flight plan from in SimBrief, and it's ready. And let's start with the battery. Then it wants the IFIS, the IRS, sorry. 1, 2 click, 1, 2 clicks. Then we do our external power, which is already requested and available. I'm doing an essential startup procedure, but it's still going to take a little bit. So if you want, you can skip to the taxi or the takeoff. The video is going to have chapters down in the description. We have not loaded the aircraft yet, so we're going to leave our seatbelts unfastened, since you should not fasten your seatbelts until the fuel is on board. But we're going to do that now. So, weight and balance, load plane from SimBrief, and we have our fuel, passengers. Not too many passengers today, we're pretty light. I left it random, so SimBrief decided to give us a pretty light load. But we have quite a bit of cargo though. So, now we have loaded the aircraft. Of course, we did it instantly, so because I don't want to make you wait for 40 minutes, so we fasten the seat belts. The logo light we don't need it because it's day. Position light is already on steady. Now turn on our airports, terrain, TFC, airport, terrain, TFC. QNH is 1001. Interesting. It's very low. Well, of course we need to change it because we are in Japan, so it's in HPA, the correct. There you go. 1001. Wow. Now let's do a performance tab. Runway for departure is 16L today. Okay, all this, it's dry, it's fine, so import from aircraft. We're going to take off with a 5 Flaps 5. Rating, I'm gonna leave it optimal, so it decides. Air conditioning is going to be on. Anti-ice off, and the weight is correct. Import the weather. And let's see to calculate where it's going to go. Okay, we have our all that we need to have here. Alrighty. So let's do our posing it. See FMC on both sides. Position initialized. We go next page, copy our left GPS, then previous page and insert it here. And we have our position initialized. Then we go to route, flight plan request, our SimBrief route from RJTT to RJBE with RJGG, which is Shubu Centrair in Nagoya, 30,000. So everything is correct. Then select route, flight plan request. Route uplink ready, load. It's loading. There you go. Uplink is ready, activate and execute. Now we're going to Alex, check that everything is fine. We go to our performance, departure and arrival. We depart from 16L and our SID is going to be Ninox 4. See that I am very familiar with. Execute. Index. Our arrival in Kobe is going to be the ILS Y9 with the Tracy star. And execute. The interesting part about this flight is that it's it has kind of a twist. We're actually not landing on runway 9 in Kobe. We're landing on runway 27 on the other side. But because there would be a very strong tailwind on runway 9. But if you look at the charts for Kobe, you will see that there is no charts at all for runway 27. This is not because runway 27 is not used. It's because when you are landing on runway 27, you have to basically do a circle approach on one. You have to start with the ILS. When you are on your 1,500 meters, you have to level off and do a circle approach to runway 27. Basically following the missed approach procedure, more or less. It's a little bit tighter because this here it would be higher than 1,500. So you start here and you go pretty much the same track, and you circle back here at 1,500. It's an interesting procedure because you need to land manually, of course, and it looks very fun to do, and we'll do that because today it's the conditions are right for that, and you also get a nice view on Osaka on this side. But you still need to load as your arrival ILS 9 because There is literally no possibility for anything else. Now, back to our route. We look at the plan. Go to legs. And check that everything jives. And everything indeed jives. Now, init ref. Yaw damper goes on. Fuel pumps go on. Do we have fuel in the center tank? We don't. So we just turn on the wing fuel pumps. Window heat goes on. Hydraulic pumps go on. Packs go on. Sorry, O2. There you go. We insert our landing altitude, which is like 20 feet, so 0. But we also need to insert our cruise altitude, which is 30,000. Go back into map here. And let's arm our auto throttle. Flight director on this side, our VNAV, our LNAV, and we insert our initial climb altitude, which will be at 10,000 is reasonable. Runway heading is going to be 158. Okay. Let's see, our TCAS should be in standby. Then it's time to start our APU. Yeah, I know. Start the APU. Let it do its thing. While it's doing its thing, I'm going to go into Perfinite and check out our D rate, which was TO2. There you go. Temperature is correct, 15. How's our APU doing? It's ready. So let's turn on our APU generators and the APU bleed. Let's disconnect the GPU. And let's disconnect the jetway since our passengers are now all inside. Close the door and arm all the doors. There you go. Now let's go to takeoff. Flap's gonna be 5. Center of gravity, it's going to be 22. 539 trim, which I believe was correct for a performance tool. It says 45 or 41. Let me see what it says here. Center of gravity 21.87. Yeah, because it was 21.9. Yeah, it's closer. Okay. Okay, 60. Well, that's correct. Let's see what it says here. 134, 135, 139. We're going to believe that. 5. 139 on V2. There you go. And this is all done. And then we set V2 on the MCP, which is 139. There you go. Then chocks go off, parking brake should go on, and chock go off. There you go. Sometimes it's funny because the EFB is a bit hard. You need to like click twice sometimes to get it to move and to do exactly what you want it to do. Yeah, I understand the resources except of GPU memory. That's always like that in crowded airports. Okay, so now we are ready for our pushback. So we go with the anti-collision lights. Go on. The wind lights stay off. Pax goes off. For the moment. And the probe heat goes on. We call our tag. I would really like if it was so kind PMDG to like implement its own pushback service. That would be really nice. Especially since the simulators pushback. If you start the engine, the tag will go away, which is not realistic. It would continue, it would usually continue to like push you back. Until you are in the right position. I know there are a lot of like pushback services and whatnot, but I would like a native solution if possible. So I'm going to have to put myself. See, it just abandoned me. Well, you know what? Let's just do it like this. We're going to just have to do it ourselves. So start your engine. We go. If you bleed on, is so engine 2 goes into ground. We wait for our N2 to reach 25%. Three, 24, 25. Give it fuel. Let's take a nice look at the engines as they start up. Okay. Engine 2 is stabilized. And so we do ground for engine 1. $25. Give it fuel. And wait for it to be started. Okay, stabilizing. Okay, now if you bleed off, an APU goes off. Did we just... Oh, the generators. Ooh. Sorry, generators first. Do we still have our flight? Yes. Ooh, I almost made a mistake. Oops. Do we have our legs? Yeah. It was going cold and dark. Yeah. Oops. So where was I? Sorry. Packs going to auto. And the PU is off. Oh my god, I was doing like a big mistake there. Okay. Where was I? And the isolation valve goes into auto as well. As usual, we actually prefer to show our mistakes here because, you know, we're learning together. Let's get the waiter here. And select weather plus terrain here and here. Our taxi light goes on. Brake check, okay. We do our flight control test, left, right, down, up, and rudder. Okay. And we can taxi. We have to do a little bit of a maneuver here. because our tag left us stranded a little bit. Oh yeah, VNAV and LNAV got disarmed because we went into we went cold. Luckily it appears that it did not affect anything else. And now we can go to runway 16. Everything here is fine. Oh, your damper is off. Luckily I noticed that. We should check that everything else is alright. Let me brake a little bit. And do one last check to make sure that everything else. Packs are in auto, isolation valve is in auto. Should put the cabin a little bit cooler. Now the packs are up. Okay, everything seems to be fine. 30,000, 0. Yeah, everything seems to be fine for the rest. Okay, let's continue. Oh yeah, while I'm doing that, I'm going to insert the ILS for runway 16L for verification purposes. 111.9 111 95, sorry. 111 95. Okay, the course is 157. Okay, that way I will have a reference for the runway or lineup. Oh, also I need to put flap 5. And the trim needs to be put as expected. .41. There you go. Auto brake also. We have them at RTO. And now we are ready. Looks like there is quite some traffic today in Tokyo Haneda, which is normal. It is a very busy airport, which I love. It's one of my favorite airports. Fortunately, the rendition we have in the simulator is not great. We're still waiting for the version by Technobrain and Axonos. There is 2 versions coming. Technobrain just did a tease a couple of days ago, showing that they're already working on the map, the AFCAD, basically the routes the aircraft can take between taxiways and runways and whatnot. That's something that normally is done by many developers toward the end of development, but you never know. Different developers have different modus operandi, and Technobrain has been working on, actually announced at the airport and in May of 2023, so it's been quite a long time. What they've shown so far is very impressive, though. I'm very expectant of the airport, because this one is it's playing up outdated. Like, for instance, here there should be jetways, there should be a new concourse and whatever, but there isn't. So basically, you're missing quite a bit. We'll have to wait and see when they release it. I will be here really soon. Like in 3 days, I'll be in Tokyo. So I'm pretty happy about that. It's gonna be a mix of relaxation and work. I can't say why the work part is, because you know, NDAs and all that. Okay, we are right in front of the runway. Stay back a bit, and we do our last before takeoff. Is there any traffic coming in? I don't see any. Landing lights. For some reason or that. Then taxi light goes off. Position light goes in strobe and steady. And the TCAS goes into a bow. Laps are in 5, correct. And now we can take off. Let me give it a last look. There is no one coming. So let's line up. as much of the runway as we can. It's a little bit of a it's getting bumpy. See why I want a new rendition of this airport. There's even these bumps before the runways that, like, if you come in a little bit hot, you're gonna risk to crash, which after all this preparation is gonna be very disappointing. Okay, we ready basically. Okay, let's go. Toga. Knots. By the way, I need to put there's a lot of crosswind. Positive rate of climb. Pull up. And autopilot on. I had to reset our speed to V2 because it was reset to 100 when we made that little mistake with the generators. Okay, it's pulling down. Laps 1. Laps up. Take a good look at Tokyo. There's a little bit of moisture, so we probably should put anti-ice on. Let's see. No, that is 14 Celsius, so we don't need it actually. First turn. Nice view of Tokyo from behind us, and Yokohama on the other side, but it's kinda covered a bit by clouds. Takeoff wasn't the greatest because I was trying to set the speed to V2 again. For some reason it reset and I didn't notice, but I managed fine. There was also probably a little bit of like wake turbulence from the previous aircraft, but I just had to go. Okay, we are 8,000. So let's start to put our altitude. Say we are being cleared to 30,000. There we go. So we're going to set standard and retract the landing lights. a very nice view over Yokohama here. We're going to fly straight over it. This is why I love this departure. Fly straight over Yokohama with a really nice view of Tokyo and Yokohama, and then you get a nice view of Mount Fuji as well. Even if today there is going to be some clouds, so I'm not sure how nice the view of Mount Fuji is going to be. Hopefully. By the way, I love of Skymark's livery. They have this little heart there, which basically tells the passengers on the sharklet, basically tells the passengers, we love you, because the passenger was gonna look straight at the sharklet. So that's Yokohama, with the Minato Mirai district straight under us, and the landmark tower, very visible. Yokohama is a beautiful city, by the way. If you go to Tokyo, make sure that you visit Yokohama. It has some really nice places. And Tokyo that way. We can see the Tokyo Tower. By the way, we are at surely over 15,000. Oh, not exactly surely over, but let's tell the passengers that they can take a little bit of a liberty in the cabin. Okay, we can delete our derate if we have one. I don't think we have a derate selected though. We don't. So we can keep it auto for now. The new Tokyo metropolitan area that they released with the SIM update, it's absolutely beautiful. Sorry, SIM update with the Word Update Japan in September is absolutely fantastic. As someone that travels to Tokyo like often, I cannot get enough of this view. Honestly, I cannot. It's absolutely fantastic. And yeah, if you hear paper, that's because I'm a traditionalist. I still use paper checklists. Just look at this view and tell me this is not the most beautiful simulator you have ever seen. This is incredible. Unfortunately, I don't have my favorite Skymark liveries. Skymark has two Pokemon liveries, but they haven't been done for 2024 just yet. So I need to use I needed to use like the normal livery. This is actually a reproduction of a real Skymark flight. It goes to Kobe. It's Skymark 109. Goes from Tokyo to Kobe daily. Yeah, I really wanted to have the Pokemon livery, but no go. Not for this time. Meanwhile, there is this. By the way, you should like synchronize the heading often. At every turn, and there is a little trick on the PMDG Boeing that you click on this screw here and it synchronizes automatically, which is a lifesaver, because otherwise having to do it there, it's like horrible. We're climbing nicely, and there is Mount Fuji, and there is one of my biggest gripes with with the update, with the Japanese word update, for some reason they did not fix an old bug that has been there for a while, with Mount Fuji like not getting snow at all. Like right now, Mount Fuji is snow capped. Definitely snow capped in real life. So it should be snow capped even here, since we have realistic weather and real weather and all that, but it's not. And I've never seen, with real weather, I've never seen snow capped. The only way I have to make it snow capped is to use like non-real weather, and that annoys me. I would really like to have realistic weather, honestly, and be able to see it snow capped, but that would probably require a change in how the snow is generated. I love the season and all, they're great, but the snow engine has always had issues in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and it still has issues in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Just look at how beautiful the whole scenario is, the whole world is. It's absolutely fantastic. And there is Lake Kawaguchi. Actually, no, that's Lake Yamanaka. My bad. Lake Kawaguchi is coming later. Lake Kawaguchi is one of my favorite places in Tokyo. Sorry, in Japan. Well, it's close to Tokyo, actually. It's closer than one believes. Like a couple hours on a bus. The best way to get there is by bus from Shinjuku Station. And you get some absolutely fantastic unobstructed views of Mount Fuji. Well, when the weather is good. And in this period of the year, the weather is almost always good, because January and February are the driest months of the year in Japan. So you get some really... Oh, we are at our... I should also put the landing gear in off, by the way. That's something you shouldn't forget. Oops. Okay, sorry. Where was I? We are at our cruise. So it's time to check out our... descent. To see how far our top of descent is. 143 nautical miles, we have time. And we put our N1 in maximum continuum power. Now let's take... See, it's really not snow capped, which is a pity. That is Lake Yamanaka. But I do prefer Lake Kawaguchi, which is there. Here, right under us. There is a... If you see that coastline northwards, like just under our fuselage, after the little cape, there is a series of little beaches that you can go there and just take pictures of Mount Fuji when there is no clouds. It's absolutely fantastic. I may go one of these days, because the winter is basically the best time to go. There is less clouds. The air is clear because it's very dry. They say January and February are the driest months of the year, and so most of the times you get days. Well, most of the time, a lot of times you get days with no clouds. Then we have clouds, so it wouldn't be a perfect view of Mount Fuji. But there is websites that you can check when Mount Fuji is gonna be probably visible. The best view. There is like from 1 to 5. You just need to check to Google like Mount Fuji visibility from different locations too, because of course there could be clouds on one side but no clouds on the other side. That's important because if you want to take the bus from Shinjuku Station, you need to reserve. You need to book your seat. Otherwise, if you just get there on the morning off, you're probably not gonna be there. You're probably not gonna find a seat, at least not in the earlier buses. Which, if you're doing a day trip, this is perfectly good for a day trip. If you're doing a day trip, you probably better get one of the earliest buses that absolutely need reservation. A little less in the winter because it's low season. Like if you want to visit Japan, I say it a lot when I fly over Japan and I record. If you want to visit Japan and have the best time, in my opinion, you should go between January and February, because it's low season, first of all, which means that it's going to be very cheap. Like all the prices are down on low season. And also, besides being low season, it's also there is less crowds, of course, and the weather is fantastic. It's a bit cold, but you can fix that with just a coat and a good coat and gloves and hat, cap, whatever. But you're gonna have the time of your life because there is not going to be super crowds. The attractions that you can go don't need like millions of reservation or whatnot. Most of them, trains are livable, and the weather is going to be the best that you can get. Like they're gonna get like very few, especially in the Tokyo area, very few rainy days, which is great if you want to sightsee. See how much do we have to our top of descent? 120 nautical miles. We are going to start working on our predictions and whatnot and our calculations when we are about 100 nautical miles. Let's take a last look at Mount Fuji. I love Skymark's normal livery to it. I mean, it's simple, but it's nice with the star and the arts. I may be a little bit biased, see, because I love Japan, but see, these mountains are snow-capped. And they are much. They have like the altitude is much lower than Mount Fuji. So why is Mount Fuji not snow-capped? I don't get it. I don't get what Microsoft has done here, but I don't understand why is it like this. By the way, so far I absolutely love the 737-800 by PMDG. I think I will fly it a lot. I used to love it in MSFS 2020, and I love it even more in 2024. And they say they're still going to improve it. There was like a small patch today, and I can see the sounds have been improved, for instance, and some glitches have been changed. But they say they have some pretty big changes coming to the exterior visuals, which are nice, but could be even better apparently. Okay, so 109 nautical miles to the top of the descent. We will soon be flying north of Nagoya, where alternate is. By the way, I'm going to go to Chubut Central just for a day trip. I already booked it. JAL flight. Guess to do what? Plane spotting. Of course, it's gonna be plane spotting. Chubut Central has some nice visitors, like the Dreamlifters, sometimes even the Antonovs, because it's a big cargo airport. For Japan, it does a lot of the cargo operations in Japan, so I'm actually looking forward to it. And this time around, I actually booked something interesting that I've overlooked, but a colleague told me about it, and I'm like, really? I mean, I knew they existed, but never thought about doing it for some reason. Because for such an aviation geek as I am, I mean, that's perfect. So basically, I'm going to do the Blue Hangar and Blue Base tours in Tokyo Haneda, which are the ANA tours for their like training facilities, the Blue Base and their hangar, the maintenance hangar. Which, by the way, while the Blue Base costs 1,000 yen, which is about $8. The Blue Hangar tours, as long as you reserve, and if you Google the names of the tours, you'll find them. It's free. So, what prevents you from going, right? And then I'm also doing the JAL Maintenance Hangar Museum tour. That's actually a little bit more expensive. I believe it's about 30,000 yen or something like that. So it's $20. Totally worth it. So yeah, I'm going to do. I do them in like a couple of days. So one day I have the Blue Base and the Japan Airlines maintenance hangar, and the other day I have the Blue Hangar. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those. I'm gonna be a little bit of an AV geek. There's going to be a lot of kids because parents bring their kids to those tours, but I don't care. I was still going to enjoy myself a lot, I'm sure. So now we are 92 nautical miles from our top of descent. So I think it's time to start prepare for descent. Import weather. Import from OFP. It's going to be runway 27. Import aircraft details. AC config is going to be on. No credit or the reversers. F5 is fine. No normal conditions, there is none. Flag config, we're gonna do flap 30 definitely. And calculate. Let's see. So it's going to stop at 5,280 feet, which is fine. If I did auto brakes 2, what would you do? Yeah, it would be kind of close. Let's do auto brakes 3. I like it more. Okay. So descent forecast. Request. Transitional level is correct at 140. Taking a little bit of time here. Okay, load. There you go. Execute. We gotta do our minimums. They're going to be the same. 230. Borrow. There you go. Check the matter is there. Okay. Alrighty. $65 miles. Let's do our approach reference. Gross weight is going to be 56.48, so 56.5. 5. Flaps 30. And correction 5 knots. And everything here is done. Let's check the landing distance is correct. 8,000. Yep. 2,500 meters. It is correct. Flaps inserted. Now I need the 92 course for the autopilot. Sorry, for the ILS. On both sides. Then I need the ILS also here, which is going to be 111.25. Oh, sorry, that's the VOR. I'm an idiot. My bad. ILS is 109.15 IKO. 09.15. Other side as well.
Traffic.
Oh, we have a traffic advisory. It's under us. We're fine. Yeah. It's not a area. Okay. Then I also need the UA VAR 114.6. Oh, got it wrong. 114. Oh, what the heck? 114.6. Okay. 114.6. Okay. Because basically what's gonna happen, I'll show you later what's gonna happen, but double descent is in 43 nautical miles. Landing altitude is set correctly. And we start briefing our arrival. So basically, how is gonna work. I am going to go down this path at Pegdo. I'm going to intercept the autopilot, the ILS. Go down toward the on the ILS until I am at 1,500. The circle to land altitude is 1,500, and I am going to get there when I'm around here. Then I'm going to follow this same radial, which is the opposite of 333, which is 153, to cut here. Then intercept the VOR at Yoe. Intercept the VOR Yoe, and then follow until I pass the runway on the side, and then turn and land. The go around altitude is still gonna be 3,000, and it's going to be he's going to make sure that I basically go straight. It's gonna be straight on the runway and arrival at the at this hold here. I've actually researched this on the internet quite a bit, because there isn't much in in terms of information about it. The only thing written in the charts, actually just in the Jepson charts that you get with Navigraph, is that you need to do a circle to land at 1,500 feet. That's all it says. I'm going to disconnect the autopilot about here and do the last turn manually. Top of the descent is here. Nice and visualized. Hit the Krama. Everything is fine. Let's take another look from outside. I never get enough of it. Personally, I think the Sumi by the 737 is a beautiful aircraft. It's chunky, but it's chunky in a nice way. Even the older 737s are even better. I love them even chunkier. Just look at this. Isn't it lovely? I'm also gonna do some plane spotting at the beginning of February at Chitose, Sapporo to Chitose. Oh, by the way, that is Lake Biwa, the biggest lake of Japan, and you can see that it's enormous. You could almost think it's a sea, but it's not. It tells us that we're close to Kyoto. Kyoto is basically on the tip of Lake Biwa, right in front of us right now. And if you're close to Kyoto, we're close to Kobe. So Osaka, Kyoto, and Kobe, they're all close to each other. Double descent is coming close. I have not forgotten anything, I believe. Well, of course I need to put the altitude down to 3,000, which is the ILS altitude, and then the aircraft will follow all the constraints on its own because we have VNAV. There we go, 3,000. See, if you add the wrong cruise altitude selected, you wouldn't have a top of descent, and you wouldn't be able to move the altitude without losing VNAV. It would be a mess. Let me just double check the frequencies here. .109.15 is correct for the IKO ILS. 114.6 is correct for the Yoe VOR. If I'm correct, the Yoe VOR is in Yao Airport, which is the first airport that Technobrain made for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, and then now it's available for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 as well. And it's really a really nice general aviation airport in Osaka. If you like general aviation, I recommend that airport. It's really nice. That's a personal recommendation, not a review. Again, we don't do reviews here. Okay, we're almost at the top of the descent, 9 nautical mile, and if we did everything correct, it should descend on its own when we pass the top of the descent. Of course, if you were using ATC, we would have to wait for ATC clearance for descending, which could screw out things up for us. See if it happens. Come on. I know you can do it. And it is. No, I was just a little bit of turbulence, I believe. It's still not. Still early. Especially considering that we are on 40 miles. Probably should lower it a little bit. Oh, by the way, we should have put our RTX to normal, but at this point we may as well put it to below. There is the enormous Lake Biwa. Oh, I can hear the engines pulling down. And is it going? Are you going down? It is going down. Descent. See, it automatically changed to descent. And it's now just going to follow all our restriction. And we're on a VNAV path correctly as we should be. And it's going to do what it needs to be doing. Okay, we're descending. As correctly as we could be. Seatbelts go on. Start putting our altimeter. Let's see if the weather changed appreciably. No. So we can start setting our passive altimeter to 10.8. There is not much in terms of constraints, so it's just going to go down nicely. We will probably need anti-ice when we reach the top of the clouds. And we're flying over Lake Biwa, and that is Kyoto. That is Kyoto. Under our engines right now. While if you look at the horizon over our nose, you will see Osaka. And right after Osaka, there is going to be Kobe. We're basically circling around Kobe and then circling around again at the airport. I have a nice, cozy sunset approach, which I like a lot. Gonna have sunrise Can I use it next to use if I screw up the landing? I'm gonna have the sun in my eyes. I guess. There is going to be quite a cloud cover where we land, looks like. Hopefully there is going to be good visibility because I'm gonna have to be careful. Like the final approach here is going to be a little tricky. Of course, as like all manual maneuvers. We'll make it, I'm sure. Looks like the only restriction is we're gonna have to be at 3,000 above at COG. So far, the vertical deviation is very slow. It's very small, 54. Low for 40 feet. It's doing pretty good. I'm proud of my little aircraft that could. Oh, need to put. Oh, it's a little earlier to put the auto brake, I suppose. And you know what? I think it's not. Let's just put it now. I like doing things early. That way I don't forget. You can see Osaka there on the horizon. We're flying north of Osaka, so you're not going to see much of it, unfortunately. Oh, you're gonna see it when we land right in front of us before we do the last turn. Look at how beautiful this looks. I can't get enough of it, I will be honest with you. Can't get enough of how beautiful this simulator looks. It's so cinematic. See how far down we are. 16,000. Things are gonna start happening quite fast when we are in the ILS. So let's hope I don't do anything wrong. We're definitely gonna be in icing, possible icing conditions when we reach the clouds, so we gotta be careful to activate anti-ice when we're ready. Yeah, we're under 15,000. Almost at the transition altitude, so let's get our transition done. Make sure that everything... Oh! We went into 1009. So recalculate. Everything appears to be fine. But something changed. So we need to change a little bit. Need ref. Let me see. Let me calculate again. Yeah, we're still fine. Okay. Well, so we need to go 110.9. It's going to be pretty important. See, that's important that you always check that. Because conditions can change. Especially when it's getting close to the evening. Conditions definitely do change. And you don't want to have problems. Okay. We are turning in southwards. And we're almost at the 1,000 feet. Our vertical deviation is minimal. Only 3 feet low. It's fine. Did they put 1010? Oh my... I want 109. Okay? Okay. Sometimes it just double clicks. I don't know why. It's so annoying. But we made it. We're fine. And now it's decelerating a little bit. Okay, we are under 10,000. So I want all my lights. I'm going to turn off lights as well. Engine start goes in continuous. Oop. Oop. And we're flying nicely towards our arrival procedure. And things are gonna start change pretty fast, so I need to be careful. Due to a little bit of turbulence, and there is clouds, so let's give it a little bit of anti-ice, just to be sure. I will remove it when I'm under the clouds. They don't seem to be strictly on my way, but they're close enough that I don't trust them. And right there, you can take a look. You can almost, you can see it. It's the super big Akashi Kaikyo bridge, which we're going to fly straight on top of it, which is going to be a nice view. We're almost at our deceleration point. Then we go to Sioji, and after Sioji we're gonna activate approach. Ascending steadily. As usual, there is some... why does this simulator always have beached ships? That's something that they really need to fix. They are so immersion breaking. I know I could use some add-on and just remove the ship traffic, but I would really like it to work correctly. You know, it would be nice. Almost at our deceleration point, and it will be, as you can see, perfectly lined up to arrive at Sioji at 3000. Okay. Arm. Spoilers. And we're almost at our flaps 1 speed. Flaps up speed, our clean speed. Our target speed is lowering. And now we are FMC speed. I have to pull down my flaps. That one. Let's go to 10. We are at 3,000, almost 3,000. Turn. Can engage approach. Flaps 5. We're about to fly over the bridge. And the ILS is on. Lower the speed to flap 10 speed. We'll have plenty of time to decelerate when we get there.
Radio altimeter.
Down the landing gear. We could land here, but as you can see, we have a lot of tailwind, so we'll not. I'm going to detach our autopilot. Heading goes at 153. Autopilot. Heading select. All told 1,500. Go up a little bit. We overshoot the 1,500 a little bit, but that's fine. Just follow our outbound track. Airport's there. Flaps 10. Speed goes down to flap 15. And now select our VOR and go into VOR lock. And we captured it. And then speed goes into ref 5. And we'll get our flaps 30. So far so good. Airport is right there. So we just need to let our aircraft fly toward the VOR for a little bit. And by the way, in front of us you can see the lights blinking there of Osaka Itami Airport, and Osaka is in front of us. Ready? Still have a little bit of time. Okay, autopilot off. Set 3000 altitude for the go around. I always forget to click a second time to shut it up. And let's do our approach. Trim the aircraft nicely. Auto throttle also disarmed. Going a little down. Let's go up. Should go faster. Okay. Do white to red. Let's start our descent. Let's go too far, too fast.
1,000.
Ooh. Okay.
Plus 100. Minimums. $100.
Continue.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Versus on. Was a pretty nice landing, I think. The lining up was not super perfect. There was a couple of four reds that I could have avoided, because I was looking at the speed too much, but it was fine. I'm not super used to do circling approach, and I mean, I haven't flown the 737 for ages, so I'll take it. Okay, we're out of the runway. Flaps up. Need to be a little bit going straight to pull up the spoiler, because this thing is wooden, like it's very hard to pull. Ah, come on. Come on, go up. There you go. Finally. That Skymark guy is not moving at all. Okay. So, taxi lights. Engine starts, goes off on both sides. APU goes on. Landing lights go off. Runway lights go also off. Flight director go off. Tikas and weather. Tikas goes off. Weather.
Monitor radar display. Go around. Wind shear ahead. Wind shear ahead.
I just did it.
Shear ahead.
That's for the wind shear. Just ignore that. I shouldn't know how to turn it off, but who cares? Ooh! Mate! Well, it doesn't matter, I'm just going to go forward. Sorry, mate. There's no one inside. The little Cessna wanted my spot. Yeah, I don't know how to turn that test off, it doesn't matter. Just going to get myself a parking slot and do the shut-off procedure, and welcome to Kobe, by the way. We made it safely. I enjoyed the landing. It was fun. Need to like be a little bit more careful on the altitude there, but not terrible. Mostly an approach part and more than landing. The landing was actually almost spotless. It was the approach that was a little wonky in the circle, but I was fine. I'm gonna call it fine. There you go. That's not going away, huh? Alrighty. Parking brake. It's gonna go away when we go cold and dark, I suppose. And so, welcome to Kobe Airport. Taxi light off. Engine go off. Oh, did we? Is it? Yeah. This is on, so we should Turn off before we do it again. Turn on the APU generators. Turn on the APU bleed. And now engine can go off. Look at this view. Very nice. Let our passengers off the hook. So the belts go into off. And we call in chocks. Ground power. And jetway. Disarm the doors, and we open our front door so that our passengers can start the boarding. We turn on the ground power, turn off the APU, the APU bleed goes off as well. The anti-collision light goes off. The yaw damper goes off. Fuel pumps go off. IRS go off. Window heat and probes go off. Hydraulic pumps go off. The packs go off, so it starts to be cold, the passenger's gonna go faster. Logo and position lights go off. Logo was already off. We're gonna go cold and dark because this is an afternoon flight and we're not gonna fly back to Tokyo. So we can turn off the external power. And the battery. Emergency exit as well. And the battery. Goes off. And we are cold and dark. You can also tell them to disconnect the external power. And we can disconnect the auto brake because we have the chocks that hold us in place. And there we are, cold and dark. All done. So thank you so much for flying with us from Tokyo to Kobe. It was a nice flight, I think. I enjoyed it. Did a couple of mistakes here and there. Not giant one, I believe. So for not having flown actively this aircraft for over a year, I'd say not too terrible. We'll improve it in the next flights. I'm going to fly the 737 quite actively right now because I enjoy it a lot. So if you have any comments, doubts or questions, or if you want to know something more about the aircraft or the route or whatever really, just by the way, this Kobe, I should truly give credit where due. This Kobe scenery is by Da Vinci. I believe it's the only payware scenery that there is for Kobe. So if you have questions, doubts, whatever, just ask them in the comments. You know, I try to answer as soon as possible. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the flight, and I will see you the next time. Thank you for watching. As usual, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. That's always super helpful. You can also leave a comment if you have feedback. We always enjoy reading them. Thank you so much for your time and attention. We hope to see you again soon here on Simulation Daily's YouTube channel and on the site. We have plenty of content coming, so stay tuned.